You know, oftentimes again, you know, you have so many stories of people that find themselves in debt. They're still, and you know, still on their mum's roof but are in debt. You know, you really want to be able to, as a man, be able to steward the small that you have. So example, if you have a phone bill, and maybe you have, I don't know, you're paying for a utility, be consistent in that before now trying to do loads of other things. Because again, if you can't be consistent in a mobile phone bill, how will you know, develop yourself to be able to, you know, cover mortgage and, you know, cover the expenses of a family, if that makes sense. So sometimes we often forfeit our destiny in looking at the big things, and by looking at the big things so often we neglect the responsibilities and the opportunities that we have now in stewarding the small and stewarding the little. So men, I encourage you today, take up something and do it consistently. It could also be your area of ministry in the house. It could be what you're given to do. You know, do it. The Bible says in Colossians 3 from verse 24, I think it's 23 to 25, but it says that, and everything you do, do it heartily unto the Lord, knowing that it's He that is the one that's going to give you your reward. You know, you're supposed to be diligent in the small. So again, for some of you, whatever it might be, if you're in hospitality, serve with diligence, serve with a smile, serve consistently. If it's going to be, I don't know, you're in, you help with equipment, be diligent. And if you're someone as well that you're not doing anything and you're just chilling, like, you know, pick up something to do. Don't be lazy. You know, put your hand to the plow. The Bible, there's another proverb that says that that whatever your hands finds to do, that you should do it well, do it wholeheartedly. You know, it's important as men that we are building ourselves up for a level of stability, because the truth is, if you're talking about a family, you're going to have a wife and children that are going to look to you as a rock, look to you as a foundation, look to you as a level of stability through tough times. And if you've not been able to develop that emotionally, physically, in it, spiritually, in every way, you're going to really struggle. And you're never really going to have the kind of girth that will cause you to carry people along, if that makes sense. And there's nothing more off-putting than a man who is not a man, or a man who's not operating like a man, you know, or an aspiring man that is more still like a boy. You know, you want to really take on responsibility. You want to really take on things and do them well and do them consistently. And these are the things that actually any decent woman of God, you know, would really value and really appreciate. And again, this fits into what I was saying. When you look at Christ, even at when he was tempted in Matthew 26 in Gethsemane, at the highest point, even though he was on the brink of saying, you know, if it's possible, take this cup away, he said, nevertheless, but your will be done. You know, the truth is, for some of us, guys, if we don't have this level of strength in our time now, what will happen is that, you know, when it comes to tough times, you will depart from the will of God. You'll run away. You will just, you know, the divorce rates are so high in this time, and it's obviously because there's a lot of let me say, there's partly a lack of this thing called stability that is missing from our generation. 100 years ago, you know, it wasn't like a common thing that, you know, a man would just say, oh, I just don't want to be with my wife anymore, and just leave. Do you know what I mean? There's just a level of stability. There was a level of saying, you know, a level of representing God to the point that it's not just Jesus that is the I am, the saying is today and to forever. That those attributes actually begin to manifest in us, where you're like, I am who I am yesterday and who I am tomorrow. I won't change in my stability. I won't change in my attributes as being a rock and being a foundation and being a pattern. And these are the things that our children need to see. You know, our children don't want to see, you know, a father that, you know, one day he's consistent in what he professes, and then another day he's just doing something else. A lot of the reasons why, you know, our youth even today are operating in the way they are is because of a lack of this thing called stability, and a stability that we need to really, really, really see as a key thing. So again, just to encourage you guys, when it comes to being a potential husband in the future, look at the small things. Do not devalue the small things, because oftentimes that seed that you leave buried under the ground, you know, or in fact, if you just that seed that you don't even put in the ground, you don't till the ground and put the seed in and cover the ground so that it can grow. That seed, you often just pluck it somewhere and it, you know, it just dies. So let us begin to plow. Let's begin to be diligent and consistent, so that by His grace we will grow up as men that are stable, men that are consistent, and men that are diligent in the things of God. Bless you guys. Thank you so much, men. Thank you for everyone watching. And this is Elder Timi giving you relevant resources for relationships.